Phase 3 is Verzik's final phase. She will transform into a spider and will now be able to move around the room. During this phase, Verzik will attack with all 3 combat styles and a series of different special attacks. Although it appears intimidating at first, Verzik operates on a very predictable attack cycle. She will perform 4 auto attacks and then a special attack. It's that simple. Let's break down Verzik's attack cycle, starting with her auto attacks. When we begin Phase 3, Verzik will randomly target one player. Her main focus will be on this target, and we typically call this player the tank. As we mentioned before, Verzik can attack with all 3 combat styles: melee, ranged, and magic. It is the tank's responsibility to manipulate Verzik into only performing either a ranged or magic attack. Verzik's melee attack is very strong and damages all nearby players, so we want to avoid this as much as possible. At the time of Verzik's attack, if the tank is standing within melee distance of her, she can perform a melee attack. If the player is not within melee distance, she will randomly attack with either a range or magic attack. Verzik's magic attack is a blue ball that will attack every player in the room. Her attack animation starts with a blue aura around her, and the damage does not apply until the ball hits the player, leaving plenty of time to change your protection prayers. Verzik's ranged attack does not start with a colored aura around her, but will eventually show a green swirl, followed by green spikes that will attack every player in the room. Just as the magic attack, players have until the spikes hit you to change your protection prayer. As mentioned earlier, Verzik operates on a very predictable attack cycle. She performs 4 autos and then 1 special attack. Let's talk about the special attacks. Verzik has 4 different special attacks that always appear in the exact same order: the spider spawn, webs, yellow portals, and lastly, the green ball. After the first 4 auto attacks have been performed, Verzik will begin her first special attack. Just as we have seen during Phase 2, Verzik will spawn explosive Nilocus around the room. Players can choose to dodge these or freeze them as they feel necessary. Verzik's second special is the spider webs. When this attack begins, Verzik will no longer be attackable as she walks into the middle of the room. She will then begin rotating, shooting spider webs around current player locations. If a player walks into a web, they will be stuck, and if not freed by a teammate, will receive damage. Players can choose to melee Verzik as they run around her, but for new players, I recommend simply running around the room along the outside wall in a clockwise direction. After 4 more auto attacks, Verzik will perform her third special attack, the yellow portals. Once again, Verzik will no longer be attackable and will spawn yellow portals randomly in the room as she charges up her attack. Each individual player must stand on their own yellow tile in order to protect themselves against this attack. If players are not standing on a yellow tile or are sharing a tile with another player, they will receive heavy damage. It is recommended that all players use this time to heal up to full health in preparation for Verzik's 4th and final special attack. The last special in Verzik's attack cycle is the green ball. Verzik will target one player, indicated in their chat box, with a large green ball. This ball can be bounced to nearby players to help negate the damage, but it is recommended that if you are the target, that you run away from your team and soak up the entirety of the attack. After the green ball is finished, Verzik will then repeat the attack cycle until she is defeated. The last mechanic we need to know about Phase 3 is the purple tornadoes. When Verzik reaches 20% health, she begins to attack faster, and all players will have a purple tornado tracking them at a walking speed. If players run into their own tornado, they will be dealt half of their current health, and Verzik will be healed for 3 times the amount dealt. Players should drink their stamina potion and avoid their tornado at all costs. Maintaining damage on Verzik is very important, but only attack her if you know for sure your tornado will not hit you. Continue through the fight until Verzik has been defeated. Tanking Verzik Phase 3 can be very intimidating when we are first learning. I'd like to take a few moments to break down and explain how easy it can really be. For players that don't feel comfortable learning yet, we can switch the tank to a different player. Verzik must perform 2 auto attacks without you being within melee distance. So simply run underneath Verzik and continue to stand underneath her until she rotates to a different player. As we learned earlier, we can manipulate Verzik to only receive ranged or magic attacks and completely avoid her melee damage. We do this by avoiding her melee distance when it is time for her to attack. A simple technique to effectively tank Verzik is the 1-to-1 method. Verzik will attack us once, we will attack her once, and then we run away until she attacks again. Some players choose to run underneath Verzik in order to avoid the melee attack, and that is perfectly okay. But since her auto attacks have less distance to travel, you will have less time to switch your protection prayers. I recommend running away from Verzik a few tiles and only clicking back to her when you see her attack. Once again, focusing on the 1-to-1. She attacks us, we immediately attack her, and then run away until she attacks again. We must remember that during her purple tornado phase, Verzik will attack faster. Continue through the fight until Verzik is defeated. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. I hope this video series helped you understand and guides you in the right direction to learning the Theater of Blood. If you have any questions, please do not hesitate to ask them in the comments section below. If you're looking for a team to raid along with or looking for real-time answers, we raid every stream and would love to have you a part of it. The link is in the description below. We'll see you soon.